Hey, it's Kim Komando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to komando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. I always like to kick things off with something interesting. And last year, you might remember this, 4 NASA volunteers entered a fake Mars simulation in Houston, Texas. Well, they just came out. They spent 378 days in a 1,700 square foot space. You know, they were pretty set up. They had a lounge area, greenhouse, a medical area, bedrooms, a great workout gym, couple of bathrooms. There was also an outdoor garden complete with red sand, okay? Because remember, this is a Mars simulation. Now, here's the deal. They had to grow their own food, deal with each other, be isolated, stuff that might happen if we actually lived on Mars. So, what do you think the crew did the most during their Mars simulation? Okay, for the last year, what do you think they did the most? You ready for it? They watched television. That's right. Day and night, they watched TV on Mars. Oh, and they had no animals in the simulation, especially no cats. Why? Because curiosity killed them all. Oh, that was a good one. Hey, on that happy note, welcome everyone. I'm Kim Komando, America's beloved digital goddess, here with you once again. And let me tell you, you're about ready to get more tech smarts because every single thing is now a tech thing. Because after all, if you're not tech ahead, you will be left behind. Now, just a reminder, you can find my award-winning show on over 420 top stations throughout the United States. And I'm streaming in your favorite radio app. Just search for my last name, Komando. And you can also get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. So search for Komando with a K, of course, not a C, a K. And I just want to tell you that great sponsors help to make this show possible. And I always negotiate money-saving deals with them. And so to see all the deals and get the special links that you need and the promo codes, go to komando.com/sponsors. Alrighty then, every single day, whether it's the weekend, a work day, or even on a national holiday, I am on it. I am going to at least 35 different websites, and I talk to industry insiders all the time to make sure that we are up to date on what's happening in the tech world. And here are the top 5 things that you need to know about. We're going to start with Amazon. Amazon, yes. Okay, they are losing, listen to this, tens of billions of dollars on the Amazon Echo and everything else related to Amazon's Alexa smart assistant. And if you bought any Alexa-enabled device, Amazon is blaming you for these losses. Okay, here's the deal. We all know about Alexa. Listens in on your conversations, ready to answer your questions, play your favorite music, take your Amazon order. Yeah, that's what they really were counting on. But as it turns out, not a lot of us are using our Alexa-enabled devices to actually buy things on Amazon. And so Amazon miscalculated. Okay, it's called the downstream impact. Okay, when you buy one product, then it leads to more purchases for another product. So no one's buying this thing as far as placing orders on it. And the Echo and the Alexa are just this disaster. So Amazon's solution should be to cut and run. But no. Guess what's coming down the pike? Yeah, Amazon thinks that we're all going to want to pay $5 a month for Alexa. Not so much. All right, moving on to number 2. I'm not getting political, and don't even think of dropping me a DM about this story. It's all over social, and I want to make sure that you don't let it happen to you. J.D. Vance left his Venmo account public. Someone found it, took a peek inside his contact list there, and revealed a lot of personal connections. See, people forget that Venmo is more than just a way to split the dinner tab. It's actually part of a social media website. Your transaction history is public. This means anyone who views your Venmo profile can see who you're sending money to, whether it's your mom, your spouse, your friend, or even a stalker. It doesn't stop there. If you make a public payment to anyone, everyone connected to them on Venmo can see it too. Yeah, big privacy problem. So here's what you need to do. Change your profile to private. Open the Venmo app. Tap your profile in the corner, then the settings gear, hit privacy, switch to private. Now, if you're saying like, oh, wow, Kim, you just went way too fast for me. I know. Head over to komando.com with a K, of course, and then just search for Venmo privacy. And I'm sure this tip is going to pop up for you, which, by the way, I think I shared with you for the first time maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. All right, moving on to number 3. What happens if you use Google's new AI or ChatGPT for really important stuff, research, only to discover that the AI lied, hallucinated. Okay, who is responsible? Now, first, I have to explain my answer. And no, I'm not an attorney, and I don't play one on the internet. But it doesn't take an attorney to understand that the possibility of an AI hallucination, complete with authentic-sounding phony facts, is more common than ever. And common sense, speaking of, should tell you that if you're really researching something super important, you have to use multiple sources to find those answers. Okay. Now, I'm not an attorney, like I said, but I could convince a judge and jury that you, the researcher, are fully and totally responsible for whatever conclusions you reach and whatever answers you publish, whether you use A or not. So do not risk your reputation on anyone's AI chatbot. All right, moving on to number 4. Yeah, it just keeps going on and on and on. I'm talking about the whole CrowdStrike situation. And a faulty security update took down PCs. You know, it's been all over the news. Emergency services, stock exchanges, hospitals, they all got that blue screen of death. But it seems like airlines took the biggest hit from the outage, doesn't it? Here's a little fun fact. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson is the world's busiest airport. It's also the hub for Delta Airlines. And because of the CrowdStrike bug, it was so packed that luggage piled up everywhere, even between the carousels at Delta's baggage claim. Now, oh, by the way, Delta's giving folks 10,000 miles fewer affected, so you might want to tap into that. Meanwhile, in Chicago, things are better, but airlines are still catching up on flights. In one instance, could you imagine this? 20 high schoolers and college students on their way home from an educational trip in Puerto Rico are now stranded in Puerto Rico. They said, oh, you'll be back next week. Oh, man, tell you. So many sad stories like this. The CEO is going to testify before Congress. 8.5 million Windows PCs affected. And you know what CrowdStrike did? I can't believe this. What a PR nightmare. They sent partners and team members a gift certificate for Uber Eats. Guess how much it was? $10. $10. Okay. What can you buy with $10 on Uber Eats? I looked. A chicken sandwich. That does not include a really big tip or even maybe most of the delivery fee. $10 Uber Eats gift card. That's like an insult. That's like, why even bother? All right, finally this. You have a digital twin that you've never met. That's right. But maybe this twin could actually save your life. Now, it's so new that probably your physicians haven't even heard about it. Now, there are 3 companies that offer a digital twin service. Virta Health, Amata, and Twin Health. Now, this is not a digital twin for say, some AI, VR, avatar to do all the work for you. This is a digital twin that has to do with your health. So with Twin Health, they use AI to actually reverse diabetes. Yeah, you heard me right. The company collects your body's vitals using a digital scale, a blood pressure cuff, a smartwatch, and a continuous glucose monitor. The data collected here is way beyond anything like an Apple Watch or a Fitbit. The devices all work together to track how different foods and activities will impact your blood sugar levels throughout the day. Then, using this model, so smart, the data is applied to your digital twin. And then based on the twin's reaction, exact foods in precise amounts together with specific exercises and other recommendations are made. Wow, isn't that something? Now, some health insurance policies might even pay for this, so you might want to check with your doctor. Again, the name of that company is Twin Health. Twin Health. Speaking of twins, my cousin saw her a couple of weeks ago at a big family reunion. She was so excited. She comes running over to me. She's like, Kim, I'm so excited. I'm expecting twins. Wow, isn't this amazing? And I looked at her, and you know how you want to say something. You're thinking like, okay, I probably shouldn't say this, but I did. And I said, wow, finally, 2 kids from the same man. She didn't laugh. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about how you can defeat your hotel room's thermostat. I had to do this myself a couple of weeks ago. And how to set up your smartphone to save your life. We have some terrific phone calls that you can't afford to miss and more here on The Kim Komando Show.
All you want is to meet your security and compliance requirements. But your business technology keeps changing. Cyber threats emerge every day. More regulations apply to you now than ever before, and your IT resources remain limited. the Center for Internet Security can help. At CIS, we work to create a safer world for people, businesses, and governments through collaboration and innovation. Using a community-driven consensus process, we work with IT professionals and volunteers around the world to develop and maintain security best practices. These resources save you time, money, and effort wherever you are on your cybersecurity journey. We also work with U.S. state, local, tribal, and territorial government organizations to share information with one another so they're stronger together. Join us today in creating confidence in the connected world. Visit cisecurity.org to play your part.
You look so stressed out. You need a vacation. I can tell, but don't even tell me. Well, Kim, I can't afford a vacation. I can't do that. Well, that's why you need to go to winfromkim.com. Winfromkim.com, because you can win from me, Kim, winfromkim.com, because I am giving away a $1,000 vacation gift card right now, and you could win it, but you can't win it if you don't enter. So go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. All right. How about we get started with Lori in Augusta, Georgia? Hi there, Lori.
Thank you for taking my call. It's a pleasure. I'm not that tech savvy, but I always learn something when I'm listening to you on the radio.
Oh, well, thank you. That's mighty nice of you. That's very sweet of you.
Okay.
So what's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what, my question I have, it's a brief but tragic story. My cousin was on business in New York City. He was, unfortunately, he was out for a night on the town, got in with the wrong people. He was drugged, taken back where he was staying, and then robbed. To begin with, they used his facial recognition to get into his cell phone, and by doing that, were able to hack into the other accounts and empty them. And the most horrible part is that he died from an overdose, along with another young man and a woman, and they found out that it was a gang that was doing this.
Oh, wait a minute. So wait, this is horrible. So he was,
yes.
He was in New York, and he was
in New York City.
And he got drugged, and then they used his face to open his phone, and then they robbed everything out of his bank account, and then he died of an overdose?
He did, and this was 2 years ago, May of 2022, and another young man also died from it. And I hate to tell such a long story, but his mother could not accept that he may have taken the drugs on his own. The investigation was kind of murky, so she went up there, and they did more research, and about 24 other people came out and said, yes, this happened to me. So that helped the police investigation. And as I stand now, I believe there are 5 people in jail, 2 facing murder, second-degree murder charges, and all these other robbery charges too. And her message wanted me to get out was, do not let this happen to you. Don't let your guard down, and please be careful.
Wow, what a horrible story, Lori. Well,
it is.
And so,
and at least she was able to turn it into something positive by getting justice. But my question is facial recognition actually safe? And what else would you do to protect your accounts?
Yeah, see, so many of us, we have our phones that are set up for facial recognition, right? Because we don't want to have to punch in a 4, 6, or 10-digit code or whatever it may be in order to open our phones, because we're opening them so much, right? We're looking at them for texting or email or looking at different apps. Is that, what you can do is not use facial recognition, and you can use a strong PIN or password or pattern lock as an additional layer of security. For your online accounts, you want to do 2-factor authentication, but maybe you want to use, instead of them sending the 2-factor authentication code to your phone that the robbers have, is that you can have it sent to an authenticator app. And then you have another layer of protection. You can limit any type of sensitive information that you have on it. But, I think here the big lesson is education on digital safety, right?
Thank you. It certainly is.
It's when you are out in a new place, you're even in your hometown. I mean, this could happen, right?
Right. That's for sure.
That you are careful of your surroundings. You're careful of who you go back to a room with or who you befriend.
Correct.
And because you don't know what's going to happen once that door is closed. It's up to and including, Lori, that even now there are robberies that are happening, that you meet somebody at a bar, okay? and they say, oh, let's share contact information because maybe we want to get together again. Okay. And so you look at your phone and maybe you have to punch in a PIN number and it's not just your face. And then when you put in your PIN number is that you put your phone down and then they swipe the phone and they run away.
Well, that's absolutely true.
Because now they just get $1,500, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But I'm happy to hear that your, I guess that would be your aunt, right?
Well, it would actually be his mother. He's like a third cousin.
Oh, okay. All right. So he's third cousin. So that she was able to pull herself together after such a tragedy, right?
It was. And no, she did mention that I could use, she did mention I could use his name so other people could read the story because it has been in the press.
Sure. You can mention his name.
Okay. His name is John Umberger, Umberger, and she's been interviewed by magazines and NBC and ABC and other things too. So, but I just want people to be safe, Kim, and I know it's a terrible story though. It
is, but it's an important story. It is. So, you know what? Maybe, Lori, you and I and your cousin's mom, okay, maybe we just saved somebody else's life. This very moment, because somebody is listening or somebody is going to share this story with their loved ones and their family. I mean, think about this. We all had things that our parents taught us growing up, right? About going to a bar. Okay. Nothing good happens after midnight. Think about that. I mean, I heard that. Maybe it was even if you're a little bit older, your mom or dad told you to put a quarter in your pocket in case you needed to make a phone call. Okay. Maybe that's what it was. Or maybe it's just, if you're ever in a situation, it doesn't matter what you are, what you're doing. If you need help, just call me or wake me up. Be home by 11 p.m., whatever it may be. Okay. Now, the digital safety when you go out is that you need to watch your phone because you're holding $1,500 right there. That's a lot of money to somebody. And the fact that they can get into your account by facial recognition takes it on a whole new level. I hope all those guys rot in jail. Lori, thank you for your call. All right, let's switch gears just a little bit. Let's say you find an AirTag stalking you. What I want you to do is to wrap it in aluminum foil and then go to the police. Here's why. A couple of months ago, Apple and Google, they finally got together after 3 years to alert you when an unknown AirTag or tracker is traveling with you, and then you can disable these trackers using your phone. Now, you also get some other info, like the last 4 digits of the cell phone number registered to the tracker. Okay, that's wonderful. But there is a catch. Yeah, I know. This only works on phones running iOS 17.5 and Android 6.0 or higher. Otherwise, you're just out of luck. So what should you do if you find an AirTag or another tracker and maybe you can't disable it? Maybe you shouldn't disable it, right? Because if you disable it, then they're not going to be able to figure out who it really went to. So what I'd like you to do is to make a little envelope made out of aluminum foil. Don't leave any gaps. This is going to block the radio signal, so whoever's tracking you has no idea that they've been seen. Okay, so you're going to make that envelope, put that tracker on the inside, and then you're going to go to the police because the police can track down who registered that tracker. We got more coming up you don't want to miss here on the Kim Komando Show.
All you want is to meet your security and compliance requirements. But your business technology keeps changing. Cyber threats emerge every day. More regulations apply to you now than ever before, and your IT resources remain limited. The Center for Internet Security can help. At CIS, we work to create a safer world for people, businesses, and governments through collaboration and innovation. Using a community-driven consensus process, we work with IT professionals and volunteers around the world to develop and maintain security best practices. These resources save you time, money, and effort wherever you are on your cybersecurity journey. We also work with U.S. state, local, tribal, and territorial government organizations to share information with one another so they're stronger together. Join us today in creating confidence in the connected world. Visit CISecurity.org to play your part.
I mentioned I went to a family reunion recently, so maybe there's some relatives that you're like, hey, I wonder where they are right now. Or maybe it's somebody that you, I don't know, loved in high school or college. Well, in just a few minutes, I'm going to tell you the insider ways to actually track down somebody who you've lost contact with over the years. And before we get to that and more of your phone calls, you wake up in a hotel room and you're hot and you go to the thermostat, but you find that you can't lower the temperature. Bummer, right? That's the hotel saying, we're saving money. Sorry. Hotels love automated temperature controls because they don't want you cranking up the AC and then running up their bills. So if you're like me and you like to sleep in a cold room, now you can bypass the hotel controls if you know the secret. And I'm going to pass it along to you. What you have to do is find the thermostat's hidden menu. I did this myself when I was in Hawaii recently. Now, so many models can be unlocked by pressing these keys. Okay, listen up. You want to press and hold the fan and the up button simultaneously for anywhere between, say, 5 and 10 seconds. And then from there, you can set the temperature to whatever you want. Again, that's the fan and the up buttons. Hold them together for about 5 to 10 seconds. Now, let's say, oh, Kim, that didn't work for me. I tried it. Well, what you want to do is just look up your thermostat model on YouTube, and I'm sure you're going to find a hidden menu tutorial that will just work for you. I mean, where else are you going to get this info other than here on the Kim Komando Show? All right, let's see. Phil in Indianapolis. Hi there, Phil. Glad to have you with us.
Well, I got a question about more has to do with privacy, like within your own home, and of course, the technology. My ex-wife and I will ask to talk to the kids from time to time, of course, and usually set up like you would a Zoom meeting. My kids will go to their bedroom and call me, or I'll have them call their mom. Mm-hmm. But on occasions, without my knowledge, consent, or anything, she will call the kids. One's 15. He's the one that has his own cell phone. The other child is 6. And she's in my home without me even knowing about it. I have issues with this. I have brought this up to her. I would tell you I've talked to local law enforcement, and they're not willing to do anything about it. And I just want to know what your take was on legality for me protecting my privacy.
So when you're not around, she FaceTimes the kids?
No, I could be home. There was an incident where I believe my daughter talked to her older brother to call mom. I was still asleep. It's early, and next thing you know, my daughter comes in, wakes me up, and my ex-wife is right there on the phone with a camera looking at me sleeping, or waking me up, if you will.
And then you guys share joint custody?
Yes.
50-50
custody.
Do you ever call her?
I always ask for her to have the kids call me. Okay. So, she can set them up wherever is comfortable and private, and they'll call me from that spot. And that's usually what I do for her. I would say probably on almost a dozen occasions, she'll just bypass that part and just call them, and then just basically invite herself into our home without me knowing.
You're in a really precarious position, aren't you? I mean, because you want to you want the kids to have a great relationship with their mom.
Absolutely.
And you want to have a great relationship with the kids. And so you don't want to be like, you can't talk to mom unless she says something to me first. And because then that's going to spark some animosity, maybe, if not now, at some point, saying like, well, how come I can't talk to my mom whenever I want to talk to my mom? Why is that?
It makes sense if she's calling and they see her on caller ID that they're going to answer.
Sure.
Right? Yeah,
exactly. So, what I would do is to maintain some sense of privacy for yourself, okay, so that if you are sleeping, suddenly you don't see your ex-wife's face. Good morning, honey. Oh, wait, whoa, what was going on there, right?
Right.
Is I would set up for the kids, I'd go buy a desk and a chair and put a stand on it for their phone and say, from now on, this is the mom corner. And when you talk to your mom, this is where you sit. And you put your phone up here, and here's a charger. And so you can prop your phone up, and you can sit there, and you guys can talk. And so where she's not getting a view of everything that's happening in the house, what the dishes look like in the sink or whatever, right?
Exactly.
And so this way, it's a no judgment zone. And the kids are old enough to understand that. So, the 15-year-old and the 6-year-old, this is where you sit when you talk to your mom. I would love for you to talk to your mom whenever she wants to talk to you guys. But these are the rules. Number 1 is what happens in the house stays in the house. And number 2 is that you sit in this chair. And it's a comfortable chair. You're going to like it. I put up some extra lights so you're going to look great. And that's the way that's going to work. Now, the other thing that you could do, too, and it's totally up to you, Because I don't know the relationship, and there's always, anytime there's divorce, there's always feelings.
It could be better.
Yeah, exactly. You know, are you concerned about what she's asking the kids?
No, I would tell you, when I say it could be better, it could be a lot better. So she's always after me and take me to court for various things, which has not panned out very well for her, but she still does it.
Okay. Well, then in that case,
I want my privacy.
Okay. In that case,
nothing to hide.
Okay. So you put up the chair, your desk and a chair in a certain part of the house that I'm thinking like in a corner. So there's nothing that she can't see anything. Okay. It's just, or you know where I'm talking about. There's some place in your house that you can do this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, what I would also do, it's up to you if you want to tell the kids, is I would get something like a Nest camera, put it in that room, and set it up so anytime motion or audio is detected, that it automatically records.
I don't believe we're allowed to. So I believe in the state of Indiana, we're not allowed to record conversations between the parents. So if they're, for example, talking to them and they decided, okay, guys, call your mom, and they're going to sit on the couch, I'll go out in the yard and find something to do.
All right. Okay.
And they'll let me know when they're done talking.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all the local statutes and state privacy laws, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because if you're not allowed to do it, then you shouldn't do it. But I was just thinking, like, if there was something else going on that maybe you wanted to have a record of, that would be an easy way to do it, because that's the way these cameras work. But again, I would just set up a desk and a chair and some lights in a special part of the house that's only going to be available to these kids and to your ex-wife whenever they want to have a call. So this way, there's not really seeing what else is going on inside the house unless she has to. But I'm glad you did mention that. So, I'm sure that's acceptable for any type of legal consideration. But if you have any questions about that, again, you always got to consult an attorney, because I'm a lot of things, but I am not an attorney. No way. I always hire them. That's what I do. And thanks for your call today, Phil. All right. It's so easy to lose touch with friends and family members. I mean, even when you were super close. But have you ever wondered where they ended up? Okay. You don't have to give up hope. Thanks to the internet and what I'm going to share with you, you may be able to find them again. First, you want to gather up all the basic information that you have: name, date of birth, last known location, anything you can remember. Now, once you have this list, you want to start using some special online directories to find them. FamilyTreeNow.com is a great free resource. By the way, if you find yourself on it, you want to opt out. FamilyTreeNow.com. And then, of course, you can use Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. They can also be powerful tools for finding lost folks. Just use the search function to find their name or their location. Also, you can dig around on websites like Ancestry and MyHeritage, because maybe they have put up some family trees. Now, these sites have massive databases. All of this will get you one step closer to finding them, unless if they owe you money. Okay, and let me tell you, they don't want to be found then, because they want to pay you back. Alrighty then, still to come, how to set up your smartphone to save your life. You don't want to miss that here on The Kim Komando Show. I need two things from each and every one of you. Number one, you tell one person about The Kim Komando Show. That's all. Just one person. And number two, head over to the website at komando.com. There's a link that says Ask Kim, and that's where you can drop me your questions, and we can also set up an appointment for us to chat here on the show. Super fun. All right, Linda in Erie, Pennsylvania. Hi there, Linda.
Hey, I love your newsletters and your podcast, and recently you wrote and talked about radiation when using cell phones,
Correct.
Which was very helpful. My question today is, you had mentioned possibly using earbuds that would be a better route when you're talking on your phone. Mm-hmm. And I just wondered, is there any radiation when using your earbuds?
That's a really good question, because, much like a phone, which we don't want to do, we don't want to put it up to our heads, right?
Correct.
We don't want to put it in our pockets if it's, if you're a guy. I was actually hiking not too long ago, and I saw a gal with her iPhone in her sports bra. And I looked at her and I said, "You don't know me from Adam, but if I were you, I would never, ever, ever put my phone in my sports bra because of the potential radiation." Now, anybody who looks at a report says, yes, there is ionizing radiation, which is like X-rays. And then there are also people who say, you know what, no, it's not. So for every case where there is one, there's always a case that's opposite that says that there is no problem with using it. But I think with earbuds, if we look at guidelines, is that they said that the radiation levels admitted are well below the limits that are safe. But the scientific research is what? Ongoing, right? We don't have any long-term effects of low-level RF radiation on human health. So what I would do is, of course, if you can use wired headphones, that will eliminate all the RF radiation exposure. Especially, if you have any type of DNA mutations in your family, this is really serious stuff. Because again, we just don't know.
Right, it's scary.
You want to limit continuous use of wireless earbuds because, and take breaks to reduce the exposure. They say that, Bluetooth technology, it is a low power. The SAR, which is short for the specific absorption rate, which measures the rate at which the body absorbs this RF energy, is considerably lower for Bluetooth devices. But that said, if you can use wired headphones, then if you're concerned about, especially if you have any type of, issues in your family, that it really is something that you really need to take seriously. But, you do have to understand, this is a different type of radiation. Radio frequency radiation, that RF that I mentioned, is a non-ionizing electromagnetic radiation, which is not ionizing radiation, which is X-rays. So,
okay, interesting.
So just, kind of keep that in mind. Is it going to kill you overnight? No. But we still want to make sure moderation is key. Just like we say, moderation is key in having a vodka martini, or
yes,
or wine, or chocolate, or apple pie, or whatever vice that you may have at that given moment. Netflix binging, Candy Crush. I mean, gosh, how many vices do we have in our lives? Crazy stuff. So just kind of keep that in mind. And Linda, thanks for your kind words about the newsletters, folks. If you're not already getting the newsletter, make sure that you sign up right now over at getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. Every day, give me 5 minutes and you will be tech smart. That's right. And I'm going to make you laugh along the way. Trust me, you are going to laugh along the way, at least once or twice. It's fun to read. I had somebody send me a note recently, said, you said it would be fun to read, and it's actually fun to read. Yes, tech can be boring, use of big words, intimidating, frustrating, but not the newsletter. Again, you can sign up right now over at getkim.com. Oh, this looks like a great question. A brand new type of laptop. Yeah. Sharon in Asheville, North Carolina.
I do a lot of stuff on the computer, even though I'm retired. And I have my laptop in this whole setup where I've got 2 extra screens. But the setup's getting old, and I was hoping to replace it. And then I was so excited to read about Spacetop. Except when I looked into it, it sounded like it was all online, kind of like a Chromebook. And I live in the mountains. I don't always have internet. So I need something that I can have spreadsheets and documents on my computer. Do you know anything similar to Spacetop that has like VR glasses?
Yeah, I was going to say, just for everybody who doesn't know, Spacetop is a laptop, but instead of having a screen on the laptop, there are some AR glasses. So the whole idea is that you're going to put these AR glasses on, and then you're going to be able to have multiple screens, and then you'll be able to move the mouse through multiple screens and multitask, and you have virtual desktops and all these great things. Spacetop is still under reserve, and it's what we call in the industry sneakernet, meaning it's been announced, everybody's excited about it, but when are we going to see it? When can we actually go buy it? Now, the good news is, Sharon, that you can buy AR glasses right now for your laptop. And so you will have these glasses with this display right across your face. They say it's going to be about 130-inch screens that you can play around with. They're made by a company called XReal. I have to tell you, I have not tried them. I've been meaning to try them, but I just haven't had an opportunity to do this yet. But they're smart glasses. They work with, your Android, Mac, PC, all kinds of good things like that. They're not cheap. Okay, they are $450. Yeah, $450. So here's what we're going to do, Sharon. We're going to put you on hold, and then we'll go ahead and send you a link so that this way you can check it out. Again, they're called X-Real Air 2 Pro AR glasses. Now, the good news is that if you buy them and they don't work, that you can return them to Amazon, but just make sure that you understand what that return window looks like. And they plug into any standard USB-C port. Again, these are the ones made by X-Real. I haven't tried them. So, Sharon, after you try them, why don't you give me a call back? Let me know what you think. And thanks for your call today. See, and that's the thing with tech. There's always something new coming down the line. We start talking about AR glasses for laptops. It's going to be passé in just about 6 months when we have the whole big Consumer Electronics Show that happens every single year in January, because those glasses are going to be loaded with AI. Of course, AI is going to be all over that show. And of course, I'll tell you more about that when that time comes. See, here's the thing about emergencies. They happen when you least expect them. So imagine this situation. You're unconscious. The only thing you have on you is your phone. Now, if you have medical ID set up properly on your Android or iPhone, someone there can actually get all your important medical details over to first responders so that you can get the care that you need, even if your iPhone is locked. And that's the key. So let's start with Android. To enable your Android emergency ID, you want to go into settings and then emergency information. And there you're just going to enter in all the info that they ask. For your iPhone, you're going to do pretty much the same thing, but you're going to open up the Health app and then tap on the medical ID in the right corner. And you want to plop in as much information as you can, your allergies, your emergency contacts, any medical issues. Put it all in there and save it, and then you're prepared for anything that comes along. Remember, you can always find a person's emergency info on the lock screen if they need help, and now someone can see yours too. Hey, just a quick reminder that I'm giving away that $1,000 vacation gift card. I want you to win it. Yes. So enter right now at winfromkim.com. Once again, winfromkim.com.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.